Honestly, this would probably make a lot of plays on the internet, but business-wise, it's probably dropping about.
Activision stock fell quite a bit the
Mhm.
day before last or yesterday.
Yep.
You find quite
Took a bit of a hit.
I wonder why.
Was it 7%? 7, 11, something like that?
I have
7-Eleven.
a vague recollection of something like that. Yes.
Blizzard
look at the stock.
stock.
Let me look at the stock.
I love how when we come together, the last thing we would actually play the game.
Yes.
We have a lot of catching up to do.
It went from 90 all the way down to 82 at some point. So that is almost 10% decrease? 8%?
Yes. Let me look at finance. Yes, they come at 8.
I mean, it's still not as bad as it was 1 year ago, but...
Chart. Let me look at the chart.
1 year ago when they did what? Was that the out of season April Fools? Or
No
that was
idea.
Warcraft 3 remaster.
Yeah, it was around a 7% drop.
Yeah.
What did they do there? I don't remember.
For the
There's so many bullshit
information
things
was
happening.
known about the current debacle.
Okay.
The harassment and stuff like that.
The
That
Bill
was already a
Cosby
year
condo.
ago?
The Cosby room. Seriously.
Confused, honestly.
But you know why they called it the Cosby room, right?
No.
Because Cosby was at some point rightfully accused of being a rapist. No.
Originally,
His case dropped.
from what they said, originally, it was because of the ugly sweaters, something like that. They would all dress up in ugly sweaters whenever they went to that room.
And I currently don't know what you're even talking about. There is something that I'm missing here.
Bill Cosby is known to have the ugliest sweaters.
Ah, okay. No, I didn't know that part.
Yeah.
Wait. What the fuck happened like 2 years ago in February?
But the funny thing is, this is like what Asmongold said. This is like being accused of terrorism and then finding out that your favorite band is ISIS. Because ISIS is also the name of a band. Yeah. Shall we start?
Sounds a lot like situational comedy right now. Sorry.
It is.
I put the link in the session only for the gallery with all the arts.
Let me
If
see.
anyone is interested.
Are they all
How
in that
many?
style?
Not really. That's
No,
why
really.
it's weird.
Some of them look pretty cool.
Yeah, some of them actually look cool. That's why that one sticks out.
Yeah, these ones are very old fantasy style, I would say.
They didn't go full out on the drawing aspect, and some of it looks like it's a real person.
On which one? On the weird one?
On the weird
Yeah,
one,
it looks like
Yeah.
Photoshop.
It looks like bad Photoshop. That's why it's weird.
yeah. Yes. Looks like someone drew paint on top of
A real person. A photo.
Exactly.
It's kind of weird. I mean, the first time I looked at it was, they photoshopped some
Yes,
stuff
exactly.
on top of a naked person.
First time I
Exactly.
looked at it, I was like, oh, so this is some sort of joke,
It,
right?
it looks like SFW porn.
Yeah.
As that's one way to phrase it.
If you've never seen it, then you should. It's the funniest thing you can think of.
I remember that.
I mean, there's answers I can do that would probably make you more. No, let's not.
Anyway, so recapping previous session. Where did you guys end up?
We planned the entire meeting of over the ball how we are gonna do this, and
we
pretty
en-
sure we split up the group as well.
We ended up going to the library and
Yeah.
entering.
Part of you went to the library. You, Dirkin, and Jellic, along with Jandis. I almost forgot her name.
On my part, if I remember correctly, I talked with the maid. I went to the alchemist.
Oh yeah, there
get
was
the-
also that side thing that
Yeah.
the maid had a note
threat.
saying to go to the alchemist and get a potion and serve it to whatever she serves, Mr. Amberbloom. Which
Didn't she
was
already
some...
have the potion with her?
A
No.
green potion.
No.
Okay, I thought it was like a note saying put this in there.
No,
the
it
note
said,
said go to the alchemist.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
go
and
to the
get
alchemist, acquire this green vial, and then put it in the
potion or something
meal.
like that, yeah. And put it in the next meal that you serve Mr. Amberbloom or something like that.
The note was not handwritten. It was cutouts of different letter types, kind of like those random notes that you see in movies.
I went there. I then informed everyone of what
The nerve on
happened.
this would-be assassin. Doesn't even pay for the murder weapon.
Yeah, that's fucked up. He doesn't even do it himself or herself.
I mean, he's just cost saving. He's cost efficient. I don't know what you guys talking
He's
about.
outsourcing the job.
Yeah.
Outsourcing the
Like,
expenses
there's
as well.
literally gonna be zero traces back to him. How are you going to find him? Yeah, he sent me this weird message. And that was everything it took for you to murder your employer? Like, I mean, if that doesn't shout like this person is guilty, I don't know.
How much money did we have? Because I'm seeing now in the chat the numbers. We
A bet.
we were
2.5K?
we were given the 1.5k. Was that it?
I don't remember exactly. Was it 1,500?
I don't remember. That's why I'm asking.
I think it's 1,500. So 1.5k.
Okay. So and the 110, 80, 40. I think it's the cost of us preparing the spell, learning the spell. Then the whistle is 9 silver and the wind chime is 1 GP. Okay.
So you've still got a lot of money left over.
I mean, whistle it's one for each member, right?
I think.
And Mr.
That's up to
Amber
you.
won. Right, guys?
Sounds about right.
So each member of the party, including Jandis and Jalek and Elvira, get one whistle.
Sure.
Yep.
And
You
also
get a
Mr. Amber
whistle.
won.
Everyone gets a whistle.
Wind chimes.
No, every once in a while.
How many wind chimes do we want, or do we want them at all?
Oh.
I mean, how many windows are there?
Shit
Yeah.
ton. It's like a mansion.
Just on the bottom floor.
A shit
Yes.
ton.
Hold on. So
Okay.
there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 18 times 2, I'm assuming. No, it's actually more than that. 19, 20, 21, 22, 23,
Over
24,
40 windows just on the ground floor.
25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42.
Hey! Nice. So yes, like I
Interesting.
said, over 40 windows just on the ground floor.
Yep.
Stuff. How you said the wind chime is 1 GP? Do you feel like do you feel like using all that gold?
I mean, it will still have a lot of gold back, so I don't see the problem.
Yeah. Remember that he provided you with 1500.
And you use it to buy extra decoration for his house. I mean,
And how much gold would we have? Would be extra? Sorry.
Extra? What do you mean?
Yeah. How much gold would be left over? That's my question. After the.
I don't know. You,
How much
didn't you
change do we get? I think
didn't
is
you do the
Yeah.
maths?
Yeah, I'll do the math now. Math, not even once.
é fazerem as contas.
Exactly. Just do the maths.
Doing the math right now.
However much you want to spend and what you want to spend it on, that's totally up to you. Don't bring me into the equation.
Okay.
Fair.
With things we've already spent. I'm just to do this fast.
I also don't ask you what you want the
Okay.
NPCs to have, and
we have this much right now with the spells spent. How many silver is 1 gold?
10.
10?
It's always 10.
Okay, it's 10. Okay, perfect. And we are how many?
5
If you
plus
No.
2.
So we are 4, right? Plus
Players, yes. Don't
Yeah.
know if you count the NPCs. In the
yeah,
Plus 3.
Is it plus 3?
Unless you're counting Amber Bloom as well?
Yeah, 8. Then about 9. Then right?
No. You're
who
4.
are you wanting to count?
Yes,
here?
exactly.
The four players.
Yes.
Jellic, Jandis, Elvira, and Mr. Amber. Okay, right, 8. Sorry.
There you go.
Yeah, sorry.
That answers your
okay.
question.
And how many wind chimes?
42 for the ground floor, if you want one per window.
8.1. Sorry, mine. 8. 1. Would it be better to have wind chimes or to have like those bell things that there are in hotels, where people can just ring if there's trouble there?
Eh?
You know when you go into an hotel and there's a
The ding dong.
yeah. No, the one at the table, if nobody's there, so you can call.
Ah,
Come.
okay. The press the button for ding.
Yeah. Anyway, wind chimes seem lines. 50 of them.
You can put some on
I
the
don't know, man.
upper floor, I guess. Sure.
I'm just throwing a number.
Yes, so you give the leftover ones to Mr. Hey, spread is upstairs.
Okay, so with this the whistles bot and with the wind chimes, we have. Do any of you want to spend the money? Because I have something I would like to create with this money.
Currently don't have any ambitions with the money, I think.
Anyone else?
Nope.
Okay. I'll send to the GM the thing I want to make.
Uh-oh. Why are you sending only to me?
Is this still for the ball or just a longer term?
No. It's a longer thing. Yeah, it's more for the future. It's just for you because if I want to tell them, I'll tell them in character.
Okay.
This was just to speed things along.
What is this?
It's just a bonus stuff. I'm not sure if I'll be the one using it, but
Oh, okay. This is pretty cool.
yeah, it's cool and it's.
Yeah. I've seen this before. It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
It's useful.
Yeah, that's the point.
I don't think anyone is gonna object to that.
Yeah.
Honestly. Right.
Objection.
No, there's not going to be any other objections here. Believe me. Right. So
Now I'm just gonna object just because I don't know magic items.
he can pass it off as not being magical, honestly.
I mean, oh,
For-
there. Okay.
You can try to bluff that it's not magical, I guess, but
Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
So I asked you last time, and some of you already gave me an answer. Some of you wanted to elaborate on your childhood friends that had an impact on your upbringing. And I know that this time you actually did your homework. I'm surprised. Probably because we delayed this 1 week, right? Anyway,
Not really though.
Boris, do you wanna start and tell us about your childhood adventuring friend, which was actually not adventuring, right?
No, it wasn't adventuring.
Yeah.
So, let me open my document. Just so I
Oh
don't
god,
forget.
there's an actual document.
Yes.
I mean, I had to write it down somewhere, you know.
There's a big copy pasta,
Yes. Yes, there is.
which I'm gonna put down here.
Scroll. So yeah, Evaris had a childhood friend. Her name was Heraldras Homa, and she was a tiefling. They last saw each other when they were 14, when she moved away. So when they were kids, Heraldras was a bit brasher than Evaris, but Evaris was slyer. And they were friends, so some traits rubbed off on each other, you know. At a certain point, bonk, be quiet.
Nice.
Okay. When they were kids, they each led a small group of children, and they basically competed in childish games and caused a lot of pranks and mischief in general. Besides this small rivalry of leading different groups of children and competing, they were still close friends. And her elders moved away when she was 14, since one of her parents was promoted in a merchant company. And that's it.
I wanted
all I
to
have to
ask
say.
ask you something about. So how old is Evaris again? Just
If I remember correctly, 30. Let me check. I put down his age. I made a...
wait, you're almost middle age.
Yep.
Okay, just making sure. Yeah.
We discussed this actually
Yeah.
when I first said my character
Yeah,
age.
yeah. 30. So this was 16 years ago that you
More or
last
less,
saw
yeah.
her.
Yep.
What kind of childish games did you partake in? What kind of mischief did you and her cause in the city?
Okay. If you want me to know, like, old-timey games, I don't know their names in English. Just I can look them up. About mischief, small pranks, you know, shaving dog's hair, you know, leaving poop at some person's door on fire.
Okay, that kind of mischief, just pranks. Okay.
Yeah, pranks, races, and some stuff gets broken, so that's still mischief.
Did you never try to contact her, or like try to see her in your adventures throughout the world?
Yeah, I went to the city where her parents where the merchant company was based in, and I didn't see her there. Neither her parents, actually. They had already moved.
Oh, so they So then you don't really know where she is anymore.
Nope. Last
Okay.
time I saw her, when we were 13, she moved away.
Yep.
That's it.
And no letters, no nothing, no contact at all.
Nope.
Okay. Do you still have fond memories of her?
Yes.
Okay.
Close friend.
Mm-hmm. All right. And after that we have Durkin.
Who?
You?
Well, I haven't really done my homework very much, but
Sorry, but
uh,
that's called teacher. I forgot my homework.
yes.
I mean, you did
But,
ask me.
I
if-
can give you just. My idea was. Derkin had spent some time in the Elf Kingdom and he had studied there. My idea was to have this friend would be a professor there who had sponsored his studies because of something that happened, and I'm not sure yet.
Okay. I guess we'll circle back to that next session.
Let's hope.
Hopefully. And by then I'll have something new to ask everyone, and that will be our getting into character. So keep those things in mind, because they might be relevant in the future. Who knows? Maybe I'm just throwing you guys through a loop so you don't know what's gonna happen.
The real deal here is that the GM does this so you think less about the details of the campaign, and so small plot things pass through without being noticed.
Or because I might use them for something in the future.
I think I've actually thrown you a nice hook
Mhm.
that you can make something of.
I have that.
What
I
we know.
have your families as well.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh God.
Yeah.
Not a threat.
No. I'm just saying that some of you don't really know what happened to your families, and you might find out in the
Emily,
future.
what is that?
Good question.
See, that's why players make murder hobos. So as to have less hostages in the hands of the GM.
So, where did we end up last time? Oh yeah, the library. Let's pull you back here again. Do a quick recap of the exact exact ending of last session. Which means I need to open up my notepad, which for some reason is not open. And it takes like a minute to open. Right. Happenings. Right. So to reiterate on previous session, some of you left the estate to go to the library. Not only just for general curiosity, but also because there was a book, if you guys remember, that was in Mr. Amberbloom's estate that dated after the moving into the city. So this clearly was restocked or written by someone inside of the city. So restocked from the outside or from someone within. Else it wouldn't make any sense to being there. That could also help you if that is the case, and trying to maybe find a way to go back, and that is partially the reason you wanted to go there. And if you remember from outside, this was quite a tall building, about 2 or 3 stories high. It wasn't necessarily big, so it didn't really stand out much from everything surrounding it. Except for the fact that even those of you who are not attuned with magic could see some sort of mist seeping through the walls and quickly dissipating. You could even see some firefly-like particles emanating from the building, occasionally jumping off from the walls and flickering and disappearing. I think You approached the building and you took a step inside. Whoops.
What happened
Why-
to the music?
It changed. It's a different music.
Antiquarian.
So, upon stepping inside of the building, the reason for this magical aura is almost immediately visible, even to those of you who don't really understand magic, which is not the case. Both of you understand
I
it.
was about to say I'm not here.
Yes, exactly. There are books floating. The books are flying off of the shelves, reorganizing themselves and putting them from one place to the other. Even on the desks, the books float and turn the pages as if someone was reading it, even when no one is sitting there. Yes. If you recall, Amber Bloom spoke of these tables, these lecterns, where you could read. Do you remember what he said?
Yeah.
Yeah, that he had bought one that you could read without needing to actually hold the books. And you can very clearly see what he was talking about. To your left, upon entering, there's a small lady behind the counter. Oops, let me also move myself to the map. Like where's the map? Immediately to your left upon entering, you see a small lady behind a counter. She seems to be... Yes, she seems to be distracted, reading a book, very focused on whatever she is reading. And from the looks of it, it seems like she's the librarian of this place.
But is she like on a special secretary or something? Like she's supposed to read to people?
She's behind the desk, yes. She's...
Yeah.
like those greeting desks.
I tried to see if there is some sort of organization, like if above the shelves there's something written, like the category of books in there.
Category of books.
You know, just to see if it's perceptible, if there is some sort of organization.
So I'm
where to
guessing
find
you're
books.
you're going to step further inside of the library, right?
Yeah.
Roll a stealth check.
And I don't want to be stealthy. Do I need
No,
to...
roll a stealth check. Trust me.
Okay.
Oh god, I have a feeling I know what this is gonna end up at.
Okay. You step further inside of the library, start checking if you see organization. The books seem to be organized by category and then alphabetically within that category. Are you
Yeah,
looking for any specific categories?
Making stuff.
So, like a crafting, DIY, that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Okay. I can't not... Okay, I need to put my thing on top of so I don't read what you guys are saying. There is a crafting repairs section, yes. If you want to browse through it.
Okay. What is the first book and the last book? Just out of curiosity.
Oh boy. You're going to make me do this, aren't you?
I thought it would be fun.
A. The first
I'll help you
book.
out.
The first book that is in the category is A Touch of Crimson. Yes.
About what?
Do you want to take a look at the book?
I will want to, but tell me the last one as well.
Let me see. With Z.
Zed.
Okay, Z is gonna be a little bit harder. What did he say? A and the, yeah, that's a good point, but not in this case apparently.
You can find it out. Hey, look, this book is out of place.
I can't find anything with Z.
It doesn't have to be Z. It can just be something else, and that happens to be.
You guys want to help me come up with a book name with
It does not need to be with
With
Zed.
THE?
Useful tricks.
It could be the name of the author. Like Zachary's Guide to Benches.
Okay.
Doesn't have to be Z. Doesn't have to exist any other books after.
Oh,
Whatever
I know,
letter you choose.
I know. Zealot architecture.
Zealots?
Right, so
Yes.
You mean zealots?
Zealot. Yes, zealot. Mispronunciation.
okay. And Zald architecture.
Yep.
Okay,
Damn, that's a damn fine ass pull.
so yeah, Jakim wants to start reading the books. He will start with the ones on the top.
Oh, the crimson one.
The Touch of Crimson. But I mean,
Well,
I don't want to hoggle the spotlight.
yes,
so
I was gonna say. Well, he's looking through the books and just picking things out and starting to read.
just tell me if I need to roll anything.
Derrican, is there anything?
Where is the chemistry section?
Do you wait? Do you say that out loud or?
No, I'm not a barbarian.
Okay. So what are you gonna do?
Derrican wonders, where is the chemistry section?
I'm going to ask again. Is that out loud for the other two people there? Also, do me a favor. Just put your tokens, and I'll put the other two.
So?
Just so. Whoops, he doesn't have his token assigned. Give me a moment.
I'm just going to get some water. Be right back.
Okay. Also, note Derrican just goes to find the chemistry section. If Jakim just up and went for looking for his stuff, same.
There you go. Roll a stealth check.
Oh crap! I see it now. Just going in unannounced and not checking in with the librarian. Can I change what I want to do?
No. Go for it.
You usually have to check in with the library when you go to a library.
It would be polite at the very least, so the
Not
maintainer of the place
necessary.
wants to know that you're in. Yikes.
So, as you take your first steps forward to try to follow Jakim, the librarian behind the counter, she very quietly closes her book while holding her finger inside of the book to remember the page. Looks up and says, "Shh."
Hold ya.
Okay.
This is a library.
No, this is Patrick.
She also motions you and Jandis and Jellic to move closer, like with her other hand.
Just the three of us?
Yes.
Jakim just went.
Yes.
It's fucking gone, man.
Are you gonna move closer?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, okay.
The three of you move closer. As she says, she turns to Jandis and she says, who are these people? I haven't seen these here before. Do you want to introduce yourselves?
We are. I pointed myself, Derek and Jellic. We are guests of Mr. Amberblooms.
Okay. I see. Okay, you're with Mr. Amberbloom. She pulls down her reading glasses a little bit more to the tip of her nose so she can look more easily at you. I haven't seen you here before.
No. Yeah, that would be unlikely.
Are you not fans of books?
Just found out about this place recently, but yes, well, at least speaking for the Erkin only, but I assume Jellic as well. Very-
I used to own a bookstore in the mainland.
All right. I probably should have remembered that. If
And I thought my memory was going. Well, if there's anything you need, then just come up to me. But do try to be quiet, okay?
You got it.
Some of this magic around this place is contingent on people being quiet. If people start making too much noise, things can go haywire. So,
Really?
yes, keep quiet.
How does that magic work? That's very interesting.
Well, it's not very controlled magic, if you will.
Interesting. What does that magic do? Or exactly? Which is so sensible to noise.
She books that is going from one shelf to the other.
Oh.
See, whatever that thing is, that causes them to reorganize themselves. That is, no one is really controlling that magic. That is kind of just doing its own thing. I would prefer a shelf to be organized in a slightly different way, but it's not really my choice. You get that? Even if I were to move
Out of
all the
character,
books...
are you going to blame the misordering, the books being
Yes.
poorly sorted on the magic?
Yes.
Marvelous.
Take
Sorry,
just accept
as you were.
just accept it.
Yes.
See, even if I were to move all the categories from one place to the other, in about an hour, everything would be back in its original place. So,
Well,
yeah.
On the one hand, that sounds very handy. Less work for you.
well, sometimes we have people coming back because the books got put back into their original place.
That also
It's-
sounds like a terrific thing for you. You don't have to worry about people returning the books.
Yeah, sometimes. We also sell books sometimes, and then
Ah.
they come back, and that's kind of an issue.
More of a rental thing then.
But yes, please do
come to me if you have any problems. And Jandis, it's nice to see you again. It's been a while.
Jandis just nods, looking down at the floor.
Okay. Could you point me to the chemistry section, please?
Chemistry. Still holding. She opens the book again on top of the counter to what page she was in. Scoots a little bit back in her chair and ducks behind the counter. Shortly after, she pulls up a map, puts it on top of the book she was reading, and the map has the layout of the place where every section is, and she just points you to where it is. It's on
Does
the
the
first
map
floor.
look out of the ordinary, or just a map?
No, it's just a hand-drawn map of where each section is. Just to remember where things are.
So yes, you should find it on the first floor.
Okay, thank you.
But again, do be careful up there and mind your head.
Okay. Usually that's not an issue that comes up often. And I mimic the being short, so I put my hand above my head.
She laughs a bit at you and stands up on her chair, and you could see that she is in fact a halfling, which wasn't very visible from behind the counter. She said,
Well, even me, I sometimes have a little bit of issue with the books. Yes. Still, be careful with your head.
Thank you.
There again. Isn't it best that we ask about that other book?
Fine.
Or I mean, if you really want to look at chemistry things, I can handle that myself.
Derek can look at that later, I suppose. Excuse me.
Yes?
How did you come to be in possession of all these books? How was the library stocked?
Well, you see, some of these just appear here.
Huh. Strike two?
I assume that the magic that is causing them to move around and be put in certain positions might also be making them come here.
Did you ever see new books arriving, flying like you see them flying around the place? Or do they just sometimes you notice, oh, this one wasn't here before?
I have seen some books come, but I always assume that they are books that were either people took to read or they bought and were being returned here. So I can't really say for sure if it's new books or just the ones that were already here originally.
I see. So, and okay, that sort of explains, I suppose. That we have seen this book that came from here, and it reports things that happened later than the date that supposedly this city was founded, which is odd, seeing as it appears you don't have ways to go back to the mainland.
He's talking about that book I took. Was it 3 months ago?
Oh, you mean that one with the warlocks?
Mm-hmm. The hooded mages, yes.
Well, what I what I originally assumed, you've heard of the Great Library, right?
Yes. And of
Well-
character, I'm assuming this is the place. That's what the Strike 2 is. The story so far fits the description of it.
Well, I assume that whatever is happening to this place might be either part of the magic that is in the Great Library or something very similar. See, when we made this place, I was originally just going to, get books myself and do everything myself, but shortly after buying the place, they just started appearing here.
I suppose that's one way of travel. Do you figure that this could be the Great Library?
She's a little taken aback, just frowns her eyebrow. She says, "What? This the Great Library? No. We built this place."
The infrastructure, but the books, as you said.
Well, no one really knows how the Great Library comes to be, but I always assumed that the whole building moved, right? Isn't that what they say in the tales?
That's what the Erkin was assuming as well. But from what you're telling me, it seems like it's something we have been assuming all this time, and it's not strictly speaking mentioned. It's just that the library travels, but that's very vague. The library, what's a library? The books are what matters. The books traveled here.
Oh, that is an interesting proposition. They do say that it moves for safety, right? So it would make sense to also come here. Huh? I never thought of that.
It also puts into perspective some other things, makes things seem more dire. It moved for protection here. The mainland isn't safe.
She pushes her chair back and stands up and gets out from behind the counter, leaving her book and her map at the desk, and just starts walking towards the middle of the library, just looking
Shall we
around.
follow her?
She's not moving far away, just like looking around and contemplating the never thought of this as being the Great Library kind of thing. Like just taking in the scenery from a new light. Eventually walking back to you and saying,
"But this just seems like such a mundane place to be the Great Library."
I mean, well, Erkin hasn't been in that many libraries, but he's been to a few, and this sort of magic and these events you describe are not common at all. Most libraries don't restock themselves.
As you're talking, and Jakim, you also notice this. The shelves begin to shake, almost as if there's an earthquake. The librarian looks very opens her eyes a lot, looking at you, and she says, "Shh.
We can talk about this outside if you want to."
So wait, the shelf started shaking, and what happened?
Librarian.
If we wanted to
Yes.
continue the conversation outside.
Yes.
Yeah, but
Sure.
yeah, I mean, but that's with them. But with me, what happened to the shelves?
The shelves begin to shake for a bit, and then
That's all. Okay.
for a bit and then stop. Almost as if
Okay.
there was a small earthquake.
Okay. Jakim like lifts his head from the book and thinks, "Huh, that's interesting," and goes back into the book. What thing is he learning about now?
Well, you started with the A, right?
Yeah, I'm going from A to Z.
So the first book is all about painting. So finishing touches, making sure that the paint doesn't crack. It has a lot of details on all that kind of stuff. Including, you have some woodwork, right? Craft statue, something like that?
I
Sculpture.
have some, yeah, I have sculpture.
Yeah, sculpture. And you did make something out of wood.
I think so. I have.
So there are also some tips about applying varnish and making sure that edges don't there's no splinters, all of that. So it could be useful for that.
I have weapons, armor, and sculpture.
Yep.
Okay, interesting. Yeah, I'll start reading, and if I get bored, I'll try searching for things that are more interesting to me.
Okay.
But anyway, I'll keep diving into the books.
So the librarian just told you to, if you want to talk more, then you can talk outside.
Yeah, I said sure that we can continue outside.
Okay. As you move outside, Jandis just pulls you and does like a point at herself and then points inside of the library. And then does a thumbs up. Just to making sure if you're okay with her just staying in.
Ah, oh, okay. Wasn't sure I had understand all the signs. Sure, yes.
Just I'm gonna go in, okay?
I give her a thumbs up as well.
Pull you. I'll leave this on this map, but you're all three of you outside. Just like that. So upon moving outside, any of the shaking that you felt, Jakim, just disappears as soon as the door closes.
As they leave?
Yes.
Oh.
You still hear Jandis walking down the corridor, so you know that someone is still inside.
Are we the only ones in the library?
You are the only people here, yes. This was right in the morning, right?
First
I
thing in the
believe
morning, I
so.
think it's,
Yeah.
It was after the.
Yeah, exactly.
After the
Right after breakfast. Yes, you're the only people here.
I think Jakim has his day planned now.
What,
I
library?
thought you wanted to sprinkle wind chimes all over the house.
Oh, right. Damn. And actually buy them. Damn it.
Yeah. And
Okay.
prepare to buy your materials for whatever you're gonna craft.
I mean, that can wait a bit. That can wait after the ball.
Yeah.
But yes, that will be useful. But for at least for now, I want to keep reading the book.
So, once you're outside, the librarian just sighs in relief. Says, "Oh, like I said, we should have been quiet. That was not the smartest idea. I kind of got carried away with the conversation."
What does happen if a lot of noise is around the shelves?
You wouldn't want to know. Yeah. The books get angry.
Oh?
Yes. Don't ask. You haven't been hit in the head with enough books to know what it's like.
Can't say. Yeah. True.
But Do you really think this is? I still don't believe it.
Well, it only occurred to the Erkin now with the description you gave. Unless the Erkin is misremembering, it fits the criteria of the legend.
But
Description, that is.
what were you saying about things being dire?
Oh, because if the library moves to places where it might be needed for something, or to be safe, then whatever. If it's here, then it's because it needs to be here to quote unquote solve things. The only things that occur right away are the war and the hooded mages of said book, which
Okay.
are somewhat linked according to that book.
Yeah, yes, but there's no one in the city that is gonna fight the hooded mages. This isn't a town of warriors.
Well,
This is a
warriors
town
are also
of
not known for reading, are they?
well, some probably. I don't know. But this isn't a town of warriors. This is a town of noblemen and some thieves as well.
Well, but the role of the library would be to give information, so it might be that it has something that we need to know to do something about it.
And who do you suggest is going to do something about that?
Well, we have had, or at least we believe to have had, close encounters with these hooded mages. And, well, we have to look further into it, if nothing else. Although, if this place is indeed the library, it's a bigger stroke of luck than what we expected. We were just investigating how come a library gets new stuff when communications are severed between the mainland. And yeah.
That is a good point. But well, if you don't really have anything else to ask, then well, whatever you need and whatever help that you want, just let me know.
Okay, thank you.
As you're preparing to go inside, Jellic just nudges you and whispers to you and says, "Should we not tell her about the thing? Where are we from?"
Unsure, because I guess we now have a permit to be in the city, so that no longer applies, I guess. But why do you think mentioning the contest is important?
Well, I'm just thinking that, well, if the library is here, and we were going to be transported somewhere and we ended up here, maybe it's not a coincidence. Well, but I guess it's not important to say anything about it.
I'm sure. Do you think she can help with that? Do you think she has anything to add?
Probably not.
Let's go inside.
Probably not.
Yes, I said just to let's let's go inside.
Yeah. Let's do that. Right. So
Off character, that also seemed a bit odd to just. Hey, by the way, we're from across the sea.
well, depend. She did ask who was going to do that. For a moment, I thought you were going to be like, "Well, us." Like a more straightforward answer.
In answer to what? Sorry.
When she said this isn't the city of warriors, who was gonna like do that and fight the mages, I thought you were going to be like,
okay.
well, us,
I was
because
a bit more,
yes, we're a little bit more subtle.
Yeah.
Right. Make your way back inside. Let me check something real quick. Um, 19. So, when you make your way back inside, Derrican, roll a reflex save.
Okay.
You know what's gonna happen, right?
Reflex. Well, not if I dodge it. Oh, I have a nice bonus, I guess.
Yes. So when you make your way back inside, you're quick to notice that one of the books on the shelf in front of you starts flying in your direction, and you just narrowly manage to avoid getting hit by it.
Whoa!
And once that happens, everything is peaceful again. The books are moving at their normal pace.
You said it was from the shelf right in front of the entrance.
Yes.
What section is it? Maybe is the section relevant or?
Do you want to take a look at the book?
The book returns. Okay. But yes, I want to. If
You dodge the
see-
book and it just stops behind you.
Oh, then yes, I want to see what book it was.
The book is another copy of the same book that was in Mr. Amberbloom's estate.
It's
one
Hood
about
Mages.
Yes.
Huh. Coincidence? I think not.
It's
Wait,
it's an exact
hovering
copy.
behind me.
Yes. It just
Weird.
it's going fast, you dodge it, and then it just stops behind you since it missed.
Derkin tries just holding his hands below the book to see what happens. Like in
Yes.
holding position.
Yes, the book turns in your direction, just opening in the first page. As if you were holding it to read it, but it's just floating above your hands.
Neat. Does it seem like a different version of the same book? I'm not expecting it to be.
It seems an exact copy.
Okay. Well, this makes Derkin feel vindicated.
Jellic just takes steps around you and starts going further into the library.
Even if it's just confirmation bias. Derkin will approach the bookshelf.
The other,
it came
the
from.
other. Oh, okay. I thought you were
what
going
was
for
it?
your other section.
No, now I'm looking for stuff that might be useful for this.
Mm-hmm.
I'm letting go of the chemistry section.
Uh,
Go that later.
that is the history section.
Oh.
You trying to find anything in particular? Information about the war? the
information about
mages.
the war, the library, the mages. If something seems more recent, then that
Okay.
as well.
That okay. I'll get back to you.
Okay, sure. Fair.
Jikim, do you have anything else you want to say?
No, I mean, unless you want me to roll for anything, Jakim is just having fun reading about stuff.
Roll one of your crafts. This case, sculpture. Yeah, you reading these books have given you more insight in, well, the first case, or the one that you haven't dropped because you're still not bored of it,
Mhm.
of finishing touches for your next statue.
Cool.
So hold a temporary bonus for your next statue. I'll try to remember it, but if I forget, you can remind me.
I'll put it in the notes.
Okay, good.
So, +1?
Like I said, this book
Wow.
is very, very detailed on finishing touches and
Next.
varnish, painting, all of that.
I've just put it there.
Mm-hmm.
Just to be sure if it shows.
To let me pull back here. Other two people. Let me remove these tokens that are not here. Right, they went off to the library. What were you going to do with your day? Razes and Abaris?
Fairly sure a small amount of my day was gonna be used to clean armor, but you made it very, very, very clear that there's way more that I can do.
Yes. I think you're going to spar with Elvira. That's part of the thing.
Yes, right, you're correct. She suggested that.
And Abaris, you were going to... Abaris?
Oh, I thought you were rolling a dice for.
No.
Sorry. I went to. Let's see. I don't remember if I wanted to do anything. I'll be honest.
What about preparations for the night?
I don't have materials to prepare anything. Do
I
I?
do have the money.
You can go out and buy them.
Okay, and then I go and buy the materials that we discussed.
Right. Sounds like a plan.
It was either that or snoop around the mansion to see if I got any traces of someone snooping around. I wanted to snoop to see if someone was snooping. Yes.
Right. So let me see. So do you have the list of the things that you're gonna buy?
Nope.
Jikim, do you have the list for him?
Yeah,
Nope.
it's the wind chimes and the
Right.
And
He knows what to get. So
whistle. Yeah.
I'm gonna put you out there. You go off into the city. Was there nothing you wanted to do in the city, by the way? You talked to the context that you wanted to the other day, right?
Yeah, I was able to talk to Thu, right? There were
There were four
talk with,
contacts.
the guard. Yeah, but I talked with the guard.
Yes.
Let me open. Ember
There
Blue's
there were two guards. There was the brothel owner, and then there was the the gang member.
Okay, I talked with Apollon, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's one of them.
Did I talk with Aaron? Or am I misremembering?
That's the gang member.
I
Yeah.
think you might have talked to him. Yeah.
I vaguely remember going to the market.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, makes sense.
Yeah.
They
Then I
were
can
both in
talk-
that area.
Since Praxis has no useful useful information, I want to talk with Nila.
Okay.
Okay.
So you're gonna take a trip to the brothel as per usual. Right.
By the way, I just didn't go to the brothel last session because you basically you only get to talk with 2 of the 4.
Yeah.
Bye bye.
Yep.
End day.
I guess you and Elvira stay
you-
behind.
If you
just
don't want, you don't
practicing.
have to. We don't have to roleplay it.
Yeah, I wanna pass through that part. I
Yeah.
will, however, give you a token for her, so that you know.
By sight. Who she is. Okay.
Yes. Let me pull you all down here. No, that didn't. Oh, because it's in the wrong layer. But I'll do it in the right layer in a second. Right there. There you go. That is Nilla.
Let me. Okay. Okay.
So, Razes, you and Elvira spend some of your day just practicing general combat tactics,
Please
moves,
not
and
in
stuff.
front of the garden. In the front garden, I would rather say we go in the back garden for that.
Okay, sure. Let
Don't be
me
shy.
hold it there.
Well,
Okay.
I mean, it's more of the part I highly assume that people wouldn't really appreciate that
Yeah.
either, and
Sure.
kind of like Amber Bloom agrees with me, I think.
Well, I mean, there's like, if you're gonna fight with a rapier or something like that, there is some noble combat. Right?
Do I look like I fight
No.
with a rape here?
No. Yeah, you spend part of your day training. Unless there's something in particular that you want to talk to her about, then
I mean, in particular, not. I would like. I mean, considering like how to phrase this properly without sounding very retarded. Essentially, what I'm assuming what you're doing sparring anyways is you talk about previous fights and like how you learned how to fight. So in my case, or like in this specific situation, I would likely ask her where she learned how to fight, or like origins of specific combat styles that she's using. I don't know.
yeah,
Something in that regard, like
Just-
fight-related talk.
makes sense.
But I can't give you specifics here.
If you want some backstory on the character, she well, she was originally going to be the village shaman, but the shaman that was there outlived what everyone would expect. So instead she ended up just going to battle, just becoming a warrior. A soldier, per se.
Mhm.
So she does have some minimal training to be a shaman, but most of her training is actually just fighting, combat fighting.
Mhm.
Sorry, I zoned out a little bit. Why is there a demon lady next to Avaris?
It's not a demon lady. It's an elf with a mask.
Oh,
She's a prostitute.
She's one
Oh,
of
okay.
the workers, yeah. I just didn't want
Makes
to
sense.
put in another map and do the whole thing in character. Just want to speed things up. But giving him a token so that he's going to recognize her after. But yeah, she gives you that insight into her life.
Okay.
When she left, the village shaman was still very much alive, even though he was well.
Well above the
Goddamn
assumed age.
immortals.
What's the orc lifespan?
Hmm.
Pathfinder.
Short. I can tell you that.
Yeah.
Due to
I'm
war?
thinking- No, just the natural lifespan is very short. Like at most 60, and I think I might be generous here, if it would load.
Ages.
Just like load page,
Description.
please.
Age. Height, age. Okay, orc.
Orc. Full orc, it's 40 plus 1d20 years, so 60 years is the maximum theoretical for Pathfinder.
Yes. So when she left, he was well into his 50s already.
Okay, I got what you mean.
That is why he outlived
At 40,
everything.
they become venerable.
Not even old, it's venerable. So he was well above his 50s. Just outliving everything, and every time that he got sick, he would just get miraculously better. So
Everyone would think, die!
Oh, I see that. I see what's happening.
What?
Every time you said every time he looked like he was getting sick, he would miraculously get better. He's obviously either occupying the body of fresh meat and just transfers the soul, or it's drinking their blood or something to rejuvenate himself.
or he's just lucky and gets over his sickness.
Where's the fun in that?
It's true. It's not as fun.
Yeah. If we're going into blood drinking, I'm going to make a pyramid scheme vampire campaign.
I'm sorry, what now?
That's
Pyramid
awesome.
scheme vampire, that sounds retarded. I love
MLM
it.
vampires.
Vamp-
Vampirism is a multi-level marketing scheme.
Yes.
Actually, I in the other campaign, I was thinking about the demons for that, like the demons that make deals for people for their souls.
No, but the multi-level marketing is like, if you become a vampire, you can get other people to become vampires, and they'll be below you.
Yeah, but
It'll work for you.
that's
And they'll
also the
work for you.
idea for the souls. Like when you die, the people that you made sell their souls, they'll also come under you.
Yeah, exactly. Multi-level marketing, amazing. But yeah, that's the insight into her backstory. And you, Abaris, you went to the.
Yeah.
Besides going to buy the things, first you went to the brothel and meet up with Nilla.
Yep.
What did you want to talk about exactly? You don't need to do it in character. Just tell me what you want to ask, and
I just want to know if I assume that she has her ear very close to the ground, in the pulse of the city, so to speak.
her what?
And
Sorry?
I assume that she has a good knowledge of the goings in the city, of what's happening in various.
Important question. Are you introducing yourself as a contact of Amberbloom? Or just going to ask random things?
No. How expensive is she? Let's talk about that.
Oh
No,
boy.
it's a good excuse.
Oh boy.
Is she okay? Let's say we had a system, didn't we?
We had a system. There was like the book with the star ratings, right?
Yeah.
Let's just
How
say
expensive?
she's in the 5-star category.
Oh boy. I wanted to be a bit more inconspicuous. I see that I can't.
Somewhere
I
in
went-
the 70 gold range.
Yeah, I'm not going to spend part of the money for the traps on that.
Would have expected
Opposite.
the exact opposite.
I'm not that bad of a
Free
person.
real estate.
Free real estate.
You could file it under expenses.
But no.
I'm joking.
I know, but I won't.
Business
Not,
expense.
just do it. We know you like them.
You know you want it. But yeah. But no. So, do I see her, like, in the room, inside a brothel, or is she
The-
like? in
The
the
easiest
private
way
chambers?
would be to ask for her.
Do I have some kind of card of representation from Mr. Amberbloom? I think I have something like that.
I think it's you who's carrying it, right? True.
Yeah.
You're
I
the
have
one with
something that-
yes, you do. Like the
Yeah.
the punch card thing.
Yes.
Wait, it wasn't a punch card. It was a Braille kind of thing, right? If I
Oh.
remember correctly, it was a
Yeah.
card with something engraved on it.
Bump.
Yeah,
Like with-
bumps and stuff. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, so I got to the brothel, presented, said I want to talk with blah blah blah. Nila?
Okay.
About
So
the
you're
party. I want to talk with her about the party.
Wait, no, there's two different cards. Sorry, I'm mixing them up. You have the card from the friendly mobster, and you do have a signed thing from.
Mr. Amberbloom?
Yes.
Yeah, so I present the one from Mr. Amberbloom and said I want to talk with Nila about the party.
Okay. So,
It's
that gives
visual.
me. Yes, that gives me.
something.
Yes, that gives me her point of view for this conversation. That's more than enough. So, what do you want to ask her?
I want to know if she's heard of anything going on in the city
Mm-hmm.
about Mr. Amberbloom.
About Mr. Amberbloom.
Yep.
Hasn't heard anything about Mr. Amberbloom, but there were some of the customers today were complaining about the breaking-ins last night,
Okay.
like the ones that. Wait, not last night. 2 nights ago.
Last night
Exactly.
was-
Yeah, last night was uneventful, but they were complaining about that. She has also had a few customers complaining about this man going around and just threatening them. Something about a statue of a golden or marble statue about a boar, something like that.
Boar?
Yes, the animal.
Okay. It could be a drill.
What?
A boar.
Oh.
B-O-R-E.
Oh, no. Boar the animal.
Something very, very boring.
Something that
Okay.
bores a lot.
Okay.
No. Um,
Where was that man seen, though? That's something I want to ask.
where was he seen? The customers who complained about it, they just said it was some crazy man that knocked at their door and wouldn't leave until they said something about a statue, but they didn't have any of the things that they were looking for, so they just assumed he's some crazy man going around.
Okay, so he's going around all the places related.
He
Okay.
he might have been homeless just because he was like wearing long robes and stuff.
Oh.
Nothing fancy for the area that these people live in.
Okay. So I'll try and keep a lookout for him.
But no, nothing about Emberbloom.
Okay.
She also asks if like the plans for the party stay as they are, if hours that were planned are still a go.
Everything is nominal.
Okay. She also asks if you're going to be attending the party.
I said I am.
Let me check something. Okay. Then, yeah. Then she'll see you there.
Okay. I think that's all I wanted to ask.
All right.
So yeah. Let's buy
Take-
stuff.
Gonna buy the things that are planned. The people at the library. Is there anything in particular that you're looking for? Oh, well, yeah, you were looking for books about the war, about the mages, and about
Library.
the library. Alright. Roll whichever is highest between perception and linguistics, I guess.
I don't think I have linguistics. So perception it is.
Whichever one's best for you. So, one of the books that you do find has a more detailed description of what happened when the library was raided. It's a retelling of the story from the point of view that's of someone who claims to have seen it happen. Let me open up something real quick. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Right there. So, from what you had heard up until now, it was just said that these hooded mages were the ones invading the library. But what this story recounts is not only about the raid itself, just these hooded mages who were aided by elementals that the book author assumes that they summoned. So these were summoned creatures. But it tells not only of that, but there was actually a whole fight that happened in front of the library. There were a group of people. He doesn't really go into much detail about them. But there was a group of people who tried to fight off these invaders. And ultimately it didn't end up very well. The library was in fact raided. And shortly after the mages left, the library just vanished into thin air.
Building and all?
Yes, the whole building just vanished. The only information that is given about these people who were fighting, trying to protect the library, is that they themselves seem to have some sort of control over elements. Not to the extent of summoning the way that the hooded mages did, but they did have some control over these elements. And
What way?
in what
Because
way?
they were also fighting with elemental attacks,
Yes,
so to speak.
with elemental magic. But the author describes that their proficiency was clearly not up to whatever the hooded mages could provide. Of course, there were
The
other
mages
people.
were alone.
The mages were alone, yes, with these elementals that they controlled.
Yeah, but the people were only the mages.
Yes. They also go into detail of some other people just joining into the fight, but once again, not standing up to anything. It doesn't go very much into detail about these people because they just tried to step in and just got obliterated. Let me see if I have something here. In fact, there's something peculiar about this story, because the author points out that there were other people actually joining into the fight. He does describe some of the things that these people tried to do. There was amongst them there was what seemed to be a shapeshifter of sorts. There was also another mage that didn't stand up to the mages whatsoever. And as well as another summoner. So the author assumes that these were just like some group of adventurers that thought that they could handle this and were clearly not up to the task. And yeah. He goes into detail about a very bloody battle, parts of the building falling off from the chaos of the battle. But
Is this eyewitness who is now retelling?
who is this eyewitness? You want to know if the book has an author, that self-described author? In the book itself, he doesn't go into any detail about himself, because obviously he's just retelling the...
Well, but he could have something. Because I am this and that. I got to see this. Blah blah blah.
No.
His way.
The only thing that he does say is that he was very close to the action, to the point where he feared for his own life. But he would never, in a million years, step into that situation, because that would just be a death sentence. Doesn't say exactly why he was close to the action, just that he was. From the outside. The book itself is not signed, it's not... doesn't have like an author biography, nothing like that. But looking around, you don't see any other copies of this book. Unlike others that do have multiple copies just around.
Oh, they're all together. The ones that have multiple copies.
Yes.
They're all together. Okay.
Yes.
This one
This one seems to only have one. Unless it's flying around and being like put in the right place.
Mhm.
This seems to be the only copy.
Well, even by itself, it's somewhat odd that this. If it's just. Does it look like it's like a journal or something, or does it look like it was from a actual book?
It seems to be just some sort of journal. The cover itself is not even a hardcover. It's just... it's very out of place here.
Yeah, it seems a bit odd that it would have been copied the second time.
In fact, I forgot to point this out. If you if you try reading the book with the self-reading lecterns, the book seems to struggle to stay floating. Almost like it's, damaged or something. It still works, but it's just like, sometimes, when you're half falling asleep and you sometimes dip. Yeah, that's what's happening to the book. Anything else of interest here? We have the information about the library. Oh yeah. Something about the war. So, as you're looking through these books, something that stands out to you, it was a little bit hard to see at first, but when you start moving through the books, you notice it. There seems to be some letters in between the books.
Oh.
Why this would be in the war section is something that you only realize when you take them out and start to open them and see what's
It's
inside.
letters from people in the war to their families or something. Or maybe official correspondence.
Yes. It has like one of those stamps in covering it. It's one of the stamps from the Coalition of Mutual Defense. You know those stamps that are used as a seal, right? You like put some ink thing and then you stamp it.
You stamp on the ink, you stamp on the thing, yes.
Exactly. And then it gets sealed by
I
that.
also found those very amusing. I would like to stamp stuff. They're lucky. As a kid, I would find that. Oh, they're lucky. They get to stamp things.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Opening this correspondence is letters from generals, as well as people of high influence, sending letters to each other. And in this specific case, it's just them discussing offering surrender.
Ooh.
Looking at the dates of these letters are a week old.
Shit. Well.
They're
Who is surrendering?
They're discussing surrendering to whatever is invading.
Speaking
Who
of,
are they?
are there more descriptions of who the enemy is? The enemy.
The enemy is.
Do you know our enemy?
Well, it's as much information as you already had. They're just desert creatures, and they're clearly aided by some sort of magic wielding users. But they're just considering offering servitude, offering anything so that they can end this war.
Conditional surrender.
Yes. There are people who are not willing to do so. And that seems to be the biggest impasse, so is why that hasn't happened yet.
Mm-hmm.
Because there's groups of people who are not okay with doing that. But yeah, these letters range from between a week old to 2 weeks old.
Surrender.
Interestingly enough, there's no mention of this tournament in the letters.
Oh. No letter at all. Not
Nope.
even the.
Not even the people who are saying that they shouldn't surrender, not even them are mentioning that the tournament is going on.
What the?
Or that it's about to happen, or anything at all. No mentions of the tournament.
What the?
The plot thickens.
In it? What do you mean? It was held in the capital.
Yep.
Was it the capital?
No, it was held in the capital, but none of the letters mention it. Make of that what you will.
I have several questions.
He's likely gonna answer 0.
Yes.
Do you want to ask questions? See if you can find more information in more books.
Well,
'Cause
I wanted to run the book by Jellic as well, and Jakim, since but he seems to be a bit off. I assume Jellic is closer by. If Jakim is also
Yeah, Jellic would also be in this area looking for things about that could help with the mages. Actually, he would be more in the magic section.
fair enough.
In the ritual section, to be exact.
Which section is closer, the crafting or the magic section?
Is there a fantasy / magical Dewey system?
Yeah.
A what?
A fantasy romance.
The Dewey decimal system.
It's used for basically organizing.
I
Books.
assume most libraries use that.
Oh,
That is their.
it's magic. I don't know. It just things just fall into place. Okay.
The GM cop out here is that it's auto sorted. I don't know.
Exactly.
Who knows how these things are sorted?
It's magic. I ain't gotta explain shit.
Never was that meme more appropriate.
But yes.
Just accepted.
Never.
Closest person is probably Jellic, yes. You wanna run things by him.
Indeed. Or well, maybe we see tables here. Are there larger tables that we could all gather and hey, check this out? So we could have a gay old time.
Do you want to risk talking to each other inside of the library?
Okay, fair enough. No.
You know what happened last time to you, right?
Yes, let's just show.
Not only that, but the library remembered, because you were outside for a while.
Well, we're trying to help. It's here for us to see.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you're gonna run things by him and let him read for a bit as well.
The letter, if you go even further back, it will help. Yeah, never mind.
This just gives more credence to the idea that this tournament was a hoax, right?
It's that, but also the amount of communication control. How come so many people knew about it and the high-ranking officers do not?
That is, well, did everyone know about it? Well, I got a letter. It wasn't, like, very outspoken. At least for me.
Oh. Out of character, I don't really recall. I was thinking it was a very widely publicized event that they were looking for. Magic users of all kinds.
It depends on area, but yes, it was mostly broadcast.
So, especially part of the reason I said it was in the capital, it wasn't held in bumfuck nowhere. It was the capital, so it's extremely weird that the high-ranking officers would not catch wind of it, at the very least.
Well, there is also the possibility that they just didn't believe that this tournament would result in anything. But it's weird the people who were advocating for not giving up wouldn't mention this as a possibility.
Exactly.
Well, I was also trying to look for information about that other ritual that we talked about, but I don't see anything. I think I'm gonna ask the librarian if she has that.
Mhm.
So if
And
you
I suppose showing the letters and seeing the date will be more conclusive evidence that this seems to be the library.
well, that is also true. Yes. Where is Jakim?
He was in the crafting section earlier. I assume he's still there.
Oh,
I
he's,
can assume he's still there.
I see. Well, I want to go talk to the librarian, see if she has,
Not too much.
hidden knowledge books.
Okay. I'll show this to Jakim as well then. Yeah, there can go.
You're
Right.
not yourself today, aren't you?
He takes one of the letters at least so that
Mhm.
he can show the librarian, and goes there. Wait, you go up to Jakim.
Yes, I'm moving.
I don't think he heard you.
Psst.
Jakim does the international 1 minute signal to hand. And he's like finishing reading something. And he then looks up and says, "Hey,
Look here.
sorry, what?"
This was in the history section. There's lots of stuff about the war as well, but
Sorry, I actually can't hear you.
okay. Look here. This was in the history section.
Wait, shouldn't we go outside? It's unpolite to talk in a library.
If you want to.
Do you think it's problematic if I leave my book here?
From the look of things, I think at most you'll have to pick it up from the shelf again.
Sure.
Are you guys going out to talk?
Yes.
You can you as you pass by, you see Jakim, Jellic, and the librarian just talking very quietly. And yeah, you can talk freely now.
Okay. Do you know anything about? Wait. Fuck. Here. Yeah. Do you know anything about dovetail giants? I just read about them. They're great.
Wait, let me see what the fuck those are. Ah, I didn't know the name of this. Okay.
A what joint? Dovetail.
Dovetail.
Yeah.
It's to build without nails.
Yeah.
So, have you ever heard of them?
I have heard of them.
Aren't they great?
Pretty nifty, eh? Look, this here is seems to be an eyewitness account from the Great Library raid,
Mhm.
and well, that's an account from close by the whole fight and so on. But also, there's these letters from high-ranking officers from last week from the coalition discussing surrender.
How do you think that they got here?
Oh, right, so Joachim wasn't in the.
Yes.
I think we. Jerkin thinks we are in the Great Library. This is the Great Library.
Jakim looks around. Oh, that's convenient.
In it.
Always look on the bright side, man.
But also, concerning.
So you're saying the Great Library is here? Huh.
You've been consulting it.
So, not only is the Great Library here, but we have access to all the information that was ever written in the book, is that it?
Well, if you don't piss off the books.
Huh. We'll have to keep that in mind then.
Hmm?
We'll have to keep that in mind.
Mm-hmm.
Huh. Curious. Sorry, I'm just thinking. So, how do you want to proceed?
I
I
was hoping you
in
would
case
have
you
some ideas. Go ahead.
weren't remembering Jakim or listening, the surrender notes, the surrender letters also don't mention the library at all. The tournament at all.
Yeah.
Okay.
I heard.
Okay. I just want to make sure that your character is aware that this is the thing.
Yeah, but my question is more of, okay, what now? Well, how do we actually? Out of character, why was the library important? Just because of the ritual that the other guys did, right?
The library was raided in the past, and this other book that Durkin found has recounts of that happening. It has the whole recount of the actual fight that took place.
But why did we want to go to the library? That's my question.
These characters didn't want to go to the library.
Didn't we discuss it? We should go there. I remember that.
No, we want to go to to this library because it was where Mr. Amberblom got his books. What we're finding out is that the town library is the Great Library.
One that we're kind of looking for in like main quest.
I just remembered what I was thinking. It was because we were discussing that maybe they were redoing the ritual and we wanted to stop it and we wanted to know how to stop it.
Yes.
Yeah, that was
Joe
part
is
of.
asking
I remember.
lady about it. If there's more information on the
Yeah,
rituals.
but there was never a main plot hook to go to the Great Library. That was the previous campaign. Yes. Did you not notice something particular about the adventurers that tried to partake in the fight and just died miserably?
Oh right. Yeah, they flew right by me. No, did not understand the reference.
Oh, incredible.
Really?
I'm currently not understanding what you're talking about.
It was the previous party.
Yes.
Oh, okay, that's something I can't understand.
There was a
I mean, you can.
there was a
can understand
shapeshifter. No, he doesn't know.
it. Oh, yeah, okay.
There was some sort of shapeshifter. There was a mage who couldn't really was not on par with them. I did mention a summoner, which, in case doesn't make sense for you, but it makes sense for what me and one of the other party members talked about.
Yeah, I remember that. You talking about that.
Who is the summoner? Because I was going to ask who is the summoner then.
Kiro.
If he's watching. Which I
Oh.
think he is. He's in the user list, which is why I mentioned him.
He wanted to make
Yes.
a summoner.
Hmm. He
had,
wanted- He wanted his character to become corrupt by something that he
Magic.
would find, and then, yes, become a summoner.
from the no magic to the very magic.
Yes.
Oh, so I stole his whole plot line inadvertently.
Kinda.
Yeah.
Anyway, as you're discussing this, Jellic makes his way outside, still holding the letter, and he says, the librarian is probably going to need a little bit more convincing to take us to
The restricted section.
Yes, exactly.
Sorry.
So what section, sorry?
Restricted section, like in Harry Potter. Why
Wait.
did I stop hearing GM?
No.
What?
Wait,
Who?
question.
I stopped hearing you. You were in the middle of a sentence and then the sound cut. Or
Oh.
at least it felt like.
That's weird. I don't know.
Well, my question is, who takes care of the library?
Um,
Takes care.
the magic. There seems to be a source of wild magic here.
Okay.
And it's that guards the restricted section.
Well, no, the librarian has a key, but she needs a little bit more convincing than just me saying that. Well, we want to stop the hooded mages.
But if the library has its own will, who defines what is the restricted section?
The library itself, maybe.
The library itself, yeah. But I think she does have a key for it, though.
Oh, you can try to ask her. And
Yeah, but she doesn't wanna take me there.
We will talk to her soon.
did she say why?
Well, that's because it's secret information. You can't just be going out and giving it to anyone who comes in and asking for it.
What kind of secret information? I suppose
The-
that's very polite of the library to keep everyone's secrets at a higher security level.
Well, I don't know what's in there. I would hope there's information about that one ritual, which I'm assuming is why the mages originally raided the thing.
True.
If it's going to be anywhere, it's going to be in that section.
We can try to ask her what would take to convince her to let us try. Maybe. Well, maybe if we can ask if the library's magic tries to interfere with who goes there.
Oh no, I already tried all of that. She just doesn't want to let me in.
Okay. Okay. So it's not like the library itself tries to filter out people. It's her, just her.
Going nope. Mm-mm.
Yeah.
Mm-mm.
Mm.
I don't think I can squeeze anything more out of her. You're free to give a try, but I don't think you're going to have any success either.
Hmm.
I tried to convince her that it was important for the war and all of that, but even then,
Well, let's try asking her what would be something. What would convince her?
What exactly do we need to actually borrow a book? Would you need to sign something?
I'm not sure about that, but be warned that the rental times tend to be rather short.
Yeah, but my question is, if we have to sign, there may be a log.
Oh.
Why do you want a log?
To know who took the books.
What books?
The ones in the library.
Yes, but for what reason do you want to know that?
I thought it could be useful because if maybe the hooded mages are here because of the library.
You
And
you think if the hooded mages were here because of the library, well, first off, they would have raided everything that they wanted at the time. And besides, if they did, they would just do it again. And not really, like, try to pass off as someone else.
maybe it's a coincidence. I mean, it's too coincidental, isn't it?
What, that the library is here?
The library is here at the same time that the guys that actually previously raided them are here as well.
From her description, the library has been here ever since they moved, so...
Yeah, but it hasn't been that long.
It's been 20 years. What do you mean it hasn't been that long?
The library was raided. was raided how many years ago?
Hundreds?
Hundreds, yes?
Exactly.
Yeah, and if there's anything that they wanted to take from here, they would have already taken. And besides, it's clearly that they already have the information that they want since they're winning the war. What else could they need?
Maybe not all the information they want.
The legend said that every book ever written, there's a copy here, right?
If it's been
As
written at
long
least
as-
twice.
Yes.
At least twice. Jakim actually wants to try to analyze the magic in the library.
But also very odd, is they're printing the letters in triplicate.
Sorry? What?
So you need to make 2 copies for it to be registered in the library. So
Yes.
the letters here had to be copied twice over.
Huh.
Yes, but
It could also be used as a way to communicate with this place from the mainland, if they knew.
to keep a record of these things. That also makes sense.
But how will this place communicate back?
It
Maybe
wouldn't.
Not.
Huh.
Yeah. It's just so people here know what's going on.
We should actually try to check this. Do you guys have paper with you?
Oh, I have a suggestion. I think we should tell the rest of the group what just transpired here.
Lovely.
Then I can actually speak.
True.
Yes, but we shouldn't waste time. We're outside, right?
Yes.
Yes.
I de-stone Poe.
You're gonna send Poe?
Yeah, I'm gonna send Poe.
Yeah, that
Fetch them.
makes sense, yes.
Mad
send-
brave at the library. Come fast.
You
Snacks.
send Poe. I'm guessing you're gonna give him the information. Oh, can he hear things while he's stoned?
I mean,
I mean, can you hear things while you're stoned?
Yes. I might not remember them though.
Can you remember them?
I mean, I think the artifact doesn't say anything. I'll leave it up to the GM, actually.
Yeah, I think it's easier if you can just listen to everything, as if you were.
Okay.
normal.
I tell him just to tell Razas and I mean the people in the group.
Yep.
So the word doesn't spread.
Mhm.
And tell them, do any of you guys have paper and ink and so on?
Oh, you want Poe to ask?
Yeah. No, Jalik and Derkin.
Sorry, what?
Do you have ink and paint and
You
paper
might
or something?
I guess you
ink,
might
yes,
have
paper, not.
leftover supplies from your training, from your.
Yeah, but the thing is, would he bring it with us? Possible. Yeah, so
Ink. I think you would. Ink is valuable.
I have ink, but
Oh.
not paper.
You could probably just ask the librarian for paper.
True.
actually, I think I also have ink. Yeah, I have ink. And an ink pen. Okay,
Ink and ink pen.
just tell them to come. I kind of want to test something.
Okay. I'm assuming you're gonna ask for a piece of paper and like write the same thing twice.
He's going to ask for 3 pieces of paper.
Yeah, and like a letter. Just try making a letter to each other. And
There is a whole section which is just people testing this library's functionality, and it's a stack, huge stack of people doing this very same shit.
That is amazing. I hadn't thought of that. But yeah, I'm guessing that's something you're going to do. I don't think we need to. I don't think we need a step by step, right?
no, but the result couldn't be interesting.
No.
You can look for the section I mentioned.
Well,
I'm joking.
the librarian does agree to give you like papers to write things on, and after writing a copy of the same thing twice, you don't notice anything happening. I don't know what you were expecting to notice anyway. Or rather, you don't know what you were expecting to happen anyway, but as soon as you finish, nothing happens.
What did you write for the test?
Dovetail drawing. What did you write?
I'm guessing you would write the 3 things so that it's a copy.
Yeah. Oh, do you think it also copies the way the book was written? For instance, if you write in the biggest piece of paper imaginable something 2 times, would it actually appear as a huge piece of paper?
Well,
How were the letters here? Was it inside an envelope or just a sheet of paper?
like I said, it was a letter, closed and sealed, with like the official stamp from the thing. Oh, that was a
Oh, okay.
rhetorical question. Okay, sorry.
What is it referring to?
Yes, I meant that it should be the same thing that with the letters. So whatever it was.
It actually copies everything around. Angelic, didn't you have an alarm spell of some sort?
Yeah, I do.
Huh. And how exactly does that work again? It tells you something, right? When there's something close, right?
When
Those ding when there's stuff.
yes, when something approaches it.
Huh. What if you cast the same spell in 2 pieces of paper and we write on the same thing on it?
But why would you do that?
To know if this is a library, maybe it would copy the magic also, since it also copies the envelope and the seal.
That seems something dangerous to do when there's so much wild magic around.
What's the worst that could happen?
The books might be angry at you.
You remember that earthquake a while ago? It's just because we were talking too much.
Oh, okay, that wasn't my imagination then. Okay.
So yes, you wanted to ask the librarian something also. Don't forget.
Because if the library itself copies everything around it, maybe there's some sort of hole inside of the way. If there was some sort of vulnerability in the way it copies things, maybe we could find a better way to find stuff inside.
Sorry, I missed what you said.
Basically, Jakim is trying to do an SQL injection in the library. That's exactly what he's trying to do.
I gotta love how you phrase it.
That's amazing as well. Yes, because messing with Eldritch systems is exactly what you want to do. Just do an SQL injection into your mainframe.
I wouldn't recommend that. Again, with all
Gee, I
this
want-
with all this primal magic going around, I wouldn't risk it.
Good thing his opinion isn't necessary.
Poor Jellic.
Whenever you want to try this, if you want to do it yourself, that's up to you, but don't... I don't want to be anywhere near it.
Okay, interesting. So, what sort of forbidden knowledge do you look for then?
The restricted section. Why can't I say restricted section?
Restricted section?
Check. Section.
Suction?
Suction. Why do you want suction?
I can't believe that caught on. Suction?
Anyway.
But wait, if there are letters from right now, right?
Well, a week ago, but yes.
Yes. Also means there would be letters from way back when this was rated.
Like the eyewitness accounts from the raid itself Derek showed you earlier.
Yes, but what if those mages actually wrote to each other of some sort? I mean, weren't they scholars?
I don't know if any of us found anything of that sort when looking.
I mean,
None of you
it's
did,
from-
no.
from what I understood, they were like some sort of scholars, and they channeled their energy for someone. Am I misunderstanding?
The
lore
what?
you
Sorry,
get?
I lost you there. What did you say?
That they were some sort of scholars, and they channeled the element for
Yes.
someone else, right? For a fifth person.
Yes, they were students of a specific professor, and that was the ritual. And that was the information that they tried to get
Okay.
on how to
So-
perform this ritual.
Is there some sort of a section on? I don't want to say master thesis, but on research papers or something like that.
That is what Jellic was trying to find originally, because it's probably in the forbidden knowledge section.
Knowledge
Which is why
section.
we need to convince Miss Librarian to let us snoop around.
Yes.
This is interesting. We basically, if the book is written twice, it will be here. So, is there anything you always wanted to read but couldn't, or wanted to know?
There's enormous amounts of things Derek would like to know. Spending some time here would be very interesting, but there are
So
pressing matters at hand.
you all start to feel the ground beneath you shake as the shelves and the library starts to also slightly vibrate. I want you all to roll a reflex save. This includes Jellic.
Quit.
So, upon noticing this, Durkin immediately looks at the place where the book came flying from last time, which is good enough for him to be able to dodge it. On the other hand, Jellic and Jakim, books fly from the shelf and hit each one of you on the head.
Book.
It does 2 non-lethal damage.
Do I need to point it down or?
Probably not.
Okay.
But on top of that,
Do they stick around?
no, they go back to their original shelves this time. 2805. So Jakim, you have, after this book hits you in the head,
Mhm.
you have a very, very vivid idea that whenever you die, you're going to see a rainbow.
What?
Yes, what I said.
What?
You don't know why, but in your mind, you think that whenever you're going to die, you're going to see a rainbow. Not the other way around. It's not when you see a rainbow, you're going to die, but just when you're going to die, you're going to die seeing a rainbow.
I'll leave the library, and as I'm leaving, I say, "Sorry, Mr. Library," and leave. I told the other 2 guys to come with me. I signal him.
The books, where did those books return to?
One of them returned to the war section, and the other 2 returned to somewhere further out. Actually, from the floor above.
Oh.
Kim, can you please do me a favor?
Send me a
Still
PM.
haven't casted Detect Magic.
He said we didn't need to. Quite a long
I
time
mean,
ago.
back then, when you were doing it for the kid, everyone told you not to.
Oh, for real?
It's not like those kind of things are preventing you.
Huh. Wait.
No, I'm shitposting. Well,
Okay.
I think it's a chance greater than 0, but I'm still just making wild accusations and speculation.
We are outside now, right?
You are. I wanted to track the books that flew out.
Okay. Roll a perception. See if you can see it from down here.
Not necessarily the one that hit Jakim, just trying to find the books that flew out. You said one returned to the war section?
Yes, 1 returned to the war section. The other 2 returned upstairs. You can see that one of them went to the non-fiction, the fiction area. Sorry, the other way around. But one of them you couldn't really tell where it went. It just went further inside. On the floor above.
Let's first drive
Right.
by the war section to see what.
Okay.
what
As
that
you
one and
as you do that,
then what.
let me just inform everyone else what is happening.
It's been very.
Would be appreciated.
Yes. So as you're sparring with Elvira, you start to hear the obvious sounds of Poe approaching.
I guess let's
Oh.
do it the dramatic way. I'm stopping mid-slash.
Poe swoops down to where you are, sitting on a branch.
They say the library is. They say the library is the Great Library.
Well, that's good, I guess, if they find books that they like.
No, the Great Library, the one from the Legends.
Wait, what? That doesn't make sense.
Well, it's what they think. They told me to tell you.
Okay. Do we go there now? Do they want us to get there? What?
Poe just looks around a bit, tilts his head, and he says,
They didn't say any specifics about that. They just wanted everyone to be
Vera.
informed.
Ever wanted to go to a library?
Books are not really for me.
Oh, this.
Just-
if legends are correct, this library might have books that are interesting even for someone like you.
Yeah, but even then, they're just books. They don't. Nothing can beat the experience of doing something for yourself. You can't get that sort of thing from a book.
Well, I guess if you don't want to go there, fine.
But if they think it's so important, then we can go there.
I would recommend us going there, indeed.
Where's Abaris?
He went shopping.
In the market section? I can go to the market and try to find him.
I don't know. He just left at some point, I think. I don't know where specifically he went. Elvira, do you have a clue? I don't think he said
she
anything.
just shakes her head and shrugs.
Well, I'll check the market section. If I don't see him, I'll come back and then go meet you guys at the library. You can
Sounds like a plan for now.
you can tell Jakim that.
He starts.
That Abaris is somewhere or what?
That I'm going to try to find Abaris, and if I don't, then I'll meet you at the library.
Okay.
And if you're not at the library when I get back, then I'll come back here and stay here.
Alright. Have a good safe flight.
starts flapping his wings and flies off once again.
A little out of character. I'm feeling a bit dumb right now, having to get myself explained by this Raven multiple times. Sorry, maybe a bit sleepy.
He's a smart
Especially
raven.
since
Though.
I haven't done much.
He's a smart raven, though.
Very
Right.
smart for a
Thanks,
raven.
now you're making it sound like he's smarter than me.
I mean, how high is your intelligence?
I don't know, let me check. I haven't opened my skills so far. This...
Rose 6, right?
Whoops.
10.
7. You're slightly smarter than Poe.
How much?
7.
I'm at 10.
Are you going
in-
to be with Varis now?
Yes, I was going to say, in the midst of Abaris, you starting the shopping part? Yeah, because you were at the brothel talking to her for a bit, trying to get information on all of that. 1 second making a sandwich. Sandwich does not take 1 second to be made.
Depends what he puts in those sandwiches.
Probably nothing,
But then
right?
I probably don't want to eat them.
I mean,
Exactly,
You take more
just-
than that, just getting the bread out of the whatever you keep your bread. Unless you're some savage who has your bread out in the open, but then. Anyway,
Anyway, so as you're starting to do the shopping that you had for the list, or midway through, just more towards the
Yeah.
beginning than actually.
I agree. Midway is
You're at the part where
Good
you're
point.
going to buy all the wind chimes, when Poe flies up to you, and he says,
Bards, can we go somewhere a little bit more quiet?
I have my arms half full, I would say, with stuff. Yeah, we can go in to an alleyway. Sure, whatever.
so you go somewhere a little bit more secluded where you're not going to be in earshot of anyone. And Poe tells you,
They think the library is the great library, the one from Legends.
Really? Would I know the Great Library? First and foremost.
the legend is known, yes. You know of the legend. Do you want a knowledge history? The
Perhaps,
legend
yeah.
itself is known by everyone. You can roll knowledge history or local.
Arcane? Local. Local. Okay. Knowledge. History.
One of the two or both if you have both.
I have history.
Yeah, you just have the general knowledge of the legend itself. The one that's posted in Discord. And that is like common knowledge for everyone.
Okay. How could that be, though? Doesn't make much sense now, does it?
They found some letters from a week ago.
Okay.
It's the great library, or at least they think it is. And I'm not sure if they want you to go there, but they wanted everyone to be informed.
I mean, by the way, at which point of the day are we? Is it still in the morning?
Yeah,
Are we
still
already in the-
before noon.
Oh, okay, it's still before noon. Yeah, then I can go there. I'll finish shopping afterwards.
All right, Razes and Elvira are already on their way.
He once again starts to take flight. I'm assuming Jakim isn't here yet. I guess
Probably not.
Because a sandwich does take some time.
not. Exactly, not 1 second.
Well, I'll get some water in the meantime. BRB.
Alright. I was gonna say something else, but that's fine.
You want to take a short break?
If you want to?
No, just what I'm asking, whether this was what you're going to say.
No, it wasn't.
As I said before, it's not like I'm doing much right now. I'm currently, mostly listening.
Where is Elvira? But hopefully it's interesting information in regards
Don't
to
get
the
me
story.
wrong, I have no problem listening for the most part right now, especially because my character isn't really that kind of character that would do this in the first place, so this
You
is all
just
good.
Get your tokens here ready.
You were saying you were about to say something else?
Oh, yeah, I was just going to give the excuse that the time that you've been like going in and out, drawing these things, trying to copy the book, whatnot, just discussing things inside, is plenty of time for Poe to give the information and for them to arrive at the library.
Okay.
So, as Jakim, you're on your way outside. You see Razes and Elvira start to approach. I'll give the same description to you, Razes, that even though you're not proficient with magic, you can very clearly sense something coming from that building. You don't get the same vision that they got of this mist coming from within the building, but when you do get closer, it's almost like the building itself is glowing, like it has some sort of aura around it. Even you, who doesn't know magic, can very clearly see this.
Okay, that's odd.
Yes.
Poe is not with them now, is he?
No, he's not.
Where's Poe?
We went to go look for a bars. Since
Isn't he
the
with-
bars was going to shop.
Yeah, he'll be here soon.
You know how to act in libraries, don't you?
Sorry, what?
You know
I
how
didn't
to
understand. No, wait, I didn't understand you acoustically.
You know how to act in libraries, don't you?
Are you saying hack?
Act. How
Oh,
to behave.
act. Thank you. I honestly didn't understand you.
Is it any different from normal buildings?
Yes.
Wow.
That sounds annoying.
It's like you're trying to sneak somewhere. You must never do any noise.
So
Not-
it's like I'm trying to think, do I know churches?
Do you? That's up to you.
I know churches for whatever reason. Or like maybe let's call it different. I know ritual places.
Yeah, okay. Fair enough.
So you're saying it's kind of like a funeral,
Yes.
without the crying.
I mean, you can still drive if you want to.
Yeah, you can still cry if you want.
Well, why would I do that?
I don't
I
know,
wouldn't
maybe
even. I wouldn't even do that at a funeral.
maybe if you kick your little toe in the furniture. I don't know.
So yeah, just be quiet. That's it, right?
Yes.
Actually, maybe when you go inside, maybe we can call. If you could call Derton, maybe I have to discuss some things with him.
What are you trying to say?
No, I'm just thinking.
Well, why don't you go inside and call him?
Yeah, a book. Okay, this sounds weird. Okay, but a book hit me in the head, and I think when I die, I'm going to see a rainbow.
Well,
Done.
okay, that's makes it clear you've gone crazy.
I was gonna say, Elvira just looks at Razes like, this guy's going crazy.
Jakim, are you okay? Do you
know.
want to see a doctor?
Okay, out of character. Are there doctors in this world? I know that there's an hospital, but
Okay, do you want to see a healer?
yeah, that's the thing that always made me a little bit confused, because shouldn't the hospital be the church?
Not necessarily.
I mean, if the priests are the one that heal, I don't know.
Yeah,
it
but
all-
who does a heal check?
Yeah, that's my point. It's a bit weird. But shouldn't like all hospitals have like a shit ton of priests?
If you wanna exhaust the pool of magic, yes.
Full of magic.
Yes. You don't know how magic works in the world, do you? There has to be there has to be an excuse for, not just making a city in the middle of the desert with infinite water because you can draw water as a priest. There has to
Okay.
be an explanation for that, right?
Okay,
Magic.
And
His point is that the area has a lot of magic in it.
I'm going to take inspiration from Final Fantasy. There's a you're not really using things, you're borrowing from nature in a way.
Okay.
And if you use it up too much, then shit's gonna happen. And this works for both destructive things and creating things.
Creating thing. Yeah. Okay, I got it.
You're going to exhaust the pool of the natural flow of magic from other planes.
No, I don't need to go to the doctor. I think I'm fine. I just have these ideas that I've been thinking about this library.
I don't know. In my head, he's gone crazy. I'm happy with that.
Elvira just walks past you, pats you on the head where she's going to assume that you just got hit, and says, "No, just get well soon, okay?"
Did Elvira just kiss my boo boo? was that basically it?
Yes. Minus the kiss part, as she goes in.
I mean, let's be honest here. It's more than you would get from me.
He'll give you a second boo boo.
I'm probably the reason for the boo boo.
Anyway, as she goes in, I try to signal Derrick to come outside.
Did I get to track down the books?
Yeah, Dayorkin is not there. He's like further in, just trying to figure out where the books are coming from. Going upstairs is still very hard to see where the book went, just because there's a long corridor, and the book could have gone anywhere.
And the fiction section, is there? Can I make out what it was that?
Not exactly, no. Just that
back
it
at
was
the war
somewhere
section.
going back to the war section.
The one that flew at me and I dodged.
Let me see. Roll. This is. You remember the book that flew at you the first time?
Mm-hmm.
It's the same book.
Did you actually roll for something and it fell on it again? Or?
Yes.
Damn. Ah, okay. Huh. Well, I suppose then I return to the hall. I suppose the entrance hall where everyone stuff.
Dirk, I think Jakim wants to talk to you outside.
Okay.
And you probably should help him.
I go outside then.
So,
Jakim is like heading back and forth in a. You know when you're really nervous or upset and you're going back and forth in a line. Yeah, Jakim is like doing that.
Everything okay?
But the gem was saying something with Elvira.
Yeah, Elvira was just going to ask Jellic. So, what's the deal here? What is going on? Razes, you're inside, right? Just making sure. You went in with Elvira.
Yes. I at least acted like I did.
Yes, because you answered, so I assumed yes.
I answered. What do you mean?
You went inside, is what I'm asking. You responded to Derrikin, so...
Yes.
Yep, exactly.
Sorry, I thought you meant whether I moved myself, and that would have been a no. That's why I was a bit surprised.
I moved you to...
Yes, okay. Okay.
Well, we think this is the Great Library, and if there's any information about the ritual, it's in forbidden knowledge section. And I don't think we're getting through to the librarian to allow us in there. Are you saying she might need some, convincing? Elvira starts
I was
to.
afraid Alvira might suggest that.
Elvira starts to roll up her sleeve. No, don't do anything, Rush. She's a nice lady. It's understandable that she wouldn't want to let us in there.
If only Avaris was here.
He would bang our way out of this.
I mean, I'm on my way.
Yes.
I mean, Bo had to go to the mansion and then go to the market, so it's understandable.
Mm-hmm. Plus, you have
Oh.
to take your things back before going there, right? Or finish
Maybe.
shopping.
It's on the way.
I'll finish shopping. I wasn't going to, but I'll finish it. I'll finish what I started.
I'm assuming Poe talked with him already then.
Mm-hmm. While you were having your
Yeah.
food.
But Joachim, you said you wanted to speak with me?
Yeah, when the book hit me, in the end, I got this strange feeling that when I die, I'll see a rainbow. Okay? Yeah, this sounds weird, but just keep with me, okay? If this is the library, then it has everything, right? So, first, it has too much things for anyone to actually be able to search for. If you built this, you would want A, to know where it is all the time, and B, being able to access things we want. So what if the books were actually the thing we were looking for?
Oh.
Also, imagine, for instance, the kid. Do you think maybe there's some information here about him? And out of character, how many dragons are there? Are they common?
Not super common, no.
Especially named dragons. That's mostly my
I suppose they all have names, you just don't ask them often.
defense. I mean,
rude man.
Exactly.
kobold, and so on. Maybe, that's
They're
dragon.
they're not super common, but they do exist, yes.
But
Maybe a dozen or so in mainland.
what if we go in and imagine I was reading the Touch of Crimson, and what if I imagine like something, I make a mental image of something being painted, and I extend my hand and I say a touch of crimson.
That's one test we can do. I suppose that requires you to know the name of the book, and you mentioned being able to search it, so perhaps it even works with less precise searches, mental images, or maybe that's why things move so much with noise.
Yeah, maybe
Perhaps
that's
you
it.
can just.
Okay,
Let's
oh,
try it.
let's try it. Before I from outside the library, I tried to turn on detect magic
You should go.
Detect magic.
from outside, and I want to keep it on inside.
Okay, I can tell you immediately that
Yeah, it's too much
there's an insurmountable number of
of stuff. And
or
magical-
auras coming from inside. It's like in the millions. It's so big that it's almost hard to comprehend how much magic you're detecting from inside. Most of it, though, is in the field. You don't even need to roll for this. It's all in the field of either prestidigitation and light.
Prestidigitation. Okay. Sorry, you mean
Yes, the
that's
spell.
actual spell?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Between prestidigitation and light. It's all a combination of the two. I don't even need you to roll. It's so strong that you don't even need to try to identify what this is.
Can he filter out those? Or are all of them either prestidigitation
yes.
or light?
Yes, they're all
There's
either.
nothing else.
Just to be sure, and around the library, is there anything?
There's traces of the auras that you already notice. Yes.
The auras? Oh, okay, the kid.
No. The auras of these books, they extend outside of the
Okay.
library.
Okay.
You can even
What-
detect it outside.
What I actually wanted to know is anyone holding magic items near us?
No.
That was the... Okay. So,
So
I want to
for
go
a test
inside. Yeah. And I extend both my hands. And first I just start by imagining a piece of furniture being painted. And see if anything happens.
Piece of furniture being painted.
Yeah, a touch of crimson. It's about painting furniture, right?
Yes, the square should be outside and not inside. Would make most sense. And put it down there. So you can do that.
Okay.
You do that and nothing happens. But as you're doing all of this, Jandis does walk down the thing, just carrying a bunch of books, like a stack of books. He's holding them down by her waist, and they go up to her chin. So, and just
A lot of books.
yes, just walking past, just asking, did you find what you were looking for?
Did you find what you were looking for based on this size?
I found a lot of books that I think Mr. Amberbloom would like.
was that knock in character?
No, I assume not.
Yeah.
Who No, my Jandis voice is doing the Jellic.
Apologized.
But did you? What were you looking for again?
I don't know, Jakim. What are we looking for? After all, you were the person that sent us here.
Jakim is currently is currently focusing on this experiment.
So he just got us here without any actual clue what he wants to do.
So
Oh,
just thinking doesn't do
Bear,
anything.
can you
no,
perhaps...
it doesn't do anything. No.
Right? Okay. Yeah, I say out loud. I'm not out loud, but in that polite tone, in an acceptable tone for a library, I say a touch of crimson.
Razes, what were you gonna say?
I was
He was
going
asking
to
me.
ignore him and just try talking to Derkin.
Yes. What were you saying?
I was simply asking him, so why are we here? What's going on?
Before I answer, I'm just looking at the the experiment, and so seeing if anything is actually happening. But
Anything is actually happening. Give me a second.
Oh boy.
Let me see what happens.
so you know that thing, you're looking at something and talking to the side, so you just
What?
You tilt your head so you're speaking in his direction, but still trying to watch what happens.
Mm-hmm. But give me a second, because something might happen.
Oh,
It might or it might not. Depends on what this actually means. Wait, 80... Oh, I got the wrong number. Hold on. You were so focused on this experiment, Jikim. But after nothing happens for a while, and you start to look around, I guess, you notice that you're not seeing from one eye.
What?
Yes.
damn!
Good job, man.
Don't mess with the Eldritch Abomination.
Oh, which eye?
He couldn't hide these rolls.
Your left eye.
Gotta love that you rolled which eye it is.
Hey, it's primal magic. It's all dice.
I signal there
Primal magic.
to come outside.
Dude, can you?
Isn't Abarish the expert on primal magic?
Yes.
Kinda.
But I'm
But
not there
he's
though.
not there.
But I'm the expert on suffering from primal magic,
Yes.
not using it.
Close enough. I'll take it.
He's also the
answering
expert in
Kazakh,
banking librarians, so he's needed here for multiple issues.
Trying to answer Hazard. You asked what? We wanted to gather the whole party to share what we found out and to discuss how to proceed.
Well, it's a bit difficult to decide how to proceed if this crazy person is constantly leaving.
Yeah,
You know?
he left again. What?
Yes.
Yeah.
He told you to follow him and he left.
Yeah.
I didn't hear that.
So I'm currently not really sure what are we doing here. Why am I wasting my time here? He's saying this is some great library and whatever. And
Yeah, can you
so
repeat
far,
puzzles?
the only thing he's done is run away and not answer anything.
He's trying out some hypothesis.
Razes?
Yes.
Roll a
Yes.
reflex save.
Oh, I was too loud.
I'm assuming your tone is like you're upset because you're here, no one's
annoyed.
explaining. Yes, exactly. You're annoyed.
A reflex save was it, right?
Yes.
Let's fucking go. Get fucked, man.
Damn. Okay, so you.
Did you catch it?
Yes, that was what I was gonna say.
Nice.
You
60 no scoped.
you hear a book. You hear the sound of whooshing air from above you. You instinctively hold your hand up to grab whatever is coming your way. And when you notice,
Looking at it or not?
without even looking, you just hear the whooshing sound, and you instinctively reach up to grab. When you look up, you're holding a book in your hand. It was
What is it?
flying directly at you. What book
Can I
is
read?
this? Can you read?
I don't know.
I think you
But it
learned
kind
to
of
read, right?
depends on
Please.
what I'm gonna do now. I know common, that's Draconic, but I don't know if I can read it. Like, considering I've grown up as a slave. And no, wait, actually, I'm pretty sure that Jandis had to read stuff for me in the Library of Amberbloom.
Didn't you put a point into linguistics as well?
Wait a second.
I think you did.
Skills. Nope.
No.
I think it was Jakim who had a point in linguistics recently.
Yes, that was so that he can learn Draconic, I think.
Oh, right, because he's a wizard who didn't know Draconic.
Right. The book is called.
Well, I mean, so now I have this here. Can anyone tell me what this is?
Yes, I definitely want to know what book you have.
Internally, I would like to say this, thanking you for not saying that's a book.
Took me a while, sorry. It's getting late.
The book is called The Sword's Legacy.
Oh?
Yes. It's a fiction kind of book. And it's centered around some sort of sword artifact thing that said that whoever possessed it would probably have the power to rule the world, something like that. But
Big boy Arthur.
it seems to be mostly fantasy. You don't know if there's any element of truth to it.
So, Declan, what does it say?
It seems to be just some fiction novel.
Okay. That sounds boring.
Centers around a sword. No?
I've seen that book before. I think I also used to sell a bunch of those. It was quite popular a few years ago.
Do you know? It's just fiction, right? It's not an actual from an actual legend or something. It's
Your guess is as good as mine.
Okay.
But yeah, it talks about
Maybe
this.
something that I don't know about.
It talks about a sword that it said that you could rule the world if you could have that sword, if you could find it. It said that only a certain people could be able to wield it, though.
Okay.
But,
Mm,
if you're curious,
Kinda-
it's a very good book, though.
Oh, shame I can't read.
Yeah, it's probably not a
Yes,
very good book to start trying to read with.
That's unfortunate. Well, if this is the also great library, well, how about anyone can find me a book that helps me learn how to read?
I suppose the librarian might know something about
Well, I
where
thought
to
this
look
is
for
the
them.
great library of legends where I just have to say what
Well,
book I want, and it
that's
comes
what
flying
Jakim
right
is
there.
trying to test out, but it seems to be a bit finicky. Though
So
he does make a
doesn't
point.
even know.
Jakim does make a point with if you have this large a collection of knowledge, you need some way to access what you want. It's not feasible to search the entire thing, so these might very well be a byproduct of that search system. Do you think, Jellic, it might be something like this?
Well, I don't see why you couldn't just look for the book. I mean, I know it has a lot of books here, but if everything is organized, I don't see why
Well,
you
I
would
would
need.
need help because, well, as we established, I couldn't know what it says.
No, I'm just saying to Durkin that I don't see why you would need that sort of magic to find the thing. I don't even know if you can control primal magic to that point, where it would allow you to do that.
But
Primal
maybe
magic? What's
when
that?
it was originally built, its original builders might have enough control for that. We just don't know how to use it.
Wait. So you're saying? Sorry, I realized that everyone else is speaking louder, so less loud. So I'm calming myself. So first there's magic, and now there's primal magic. You guys trolling?
No. Primal magic is just it's just a connotation to magic that you don't really control.
Is that
Oh.
good or bad?
Dangerous.
Dangerous, yes. That's a good way to put it. It can be useful, as you can see around us. Jellic just points with his hand, especially at the books that are flying around and reorganizing themselves. It can be very useful, but if you're not careful, well, that book that tried to hit you is a case of that.
Alright, it tried to hit me. Usually I wouldn't like that.
Wait, Jakim asked us to follow him outside.
Yes, I think
Wasn't it?
we should take this conversation outside anyway.
Yeah, probably best. Let's step out.
Right.
Jakim is like with his fingers in front of his head, like trying to see when you stop seeing, you know, when you're getting the limits of your sight.
Yes. You are currently unable to see from your left eye. I think everyone being outside is a good moment for Abaris to show up.
Yes.
Yes.
Hey.
They throw you in here. You see everyone after your shopping going back, and Poe as well. Well, Poe would come back as you're trying to see Jakim. And then whatever you want to do with him, and then Abaris would show up a little bit after.
I'll let him be at my shoulder for a while.
Right. Go Poe up there.
And then I start trying
Yeah. You come in, Abaris, with Jakim acting up strange, as well as everyone just leaving the building.
So what's this about the library?
Oof.
I'm sorry, but I was not able to understand everything that you just said.
F.
Are you
Watch
okay?
F. I don't know what happened, but F.
My cat. It was my cat. They got
Oh,
scared
okay.
with
Okay.
something, and just pulled some ninja moves. Jumped like
Yes.
1 meter into the air, and did a backflip.
Understandable.
God, I love cats.
Sorry, it was just hilarious.
Oh, as indeed it was.
My cats are so weird.
Casual backflip.
It was like they were both eating. They got scared with something. I know what. And one of them jumped into the air. I think she put her paws in a table, have near their food, and did like a backflip. At least it twisted herself in the air. It was really weird.
Cats.
Yeah, kind of weird. But yeah, sorry about that. So guys, what's this about the library?
Seems
What's
to be
my
this
knock?
one.
I guess you don't need to reiterate, just fill him in. On...
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Which
I
Info
was-
dump.
assume that.
Yes.
Assume that I.
Info
information.
dump. Yes.
Yeah.
The letters, everything, the book, the timestamp on the letters, the primal magic, and yes, Sabaris, you can also very clearly see this magic emanating from within the building.
Yeah.
It
Also,
it speaks to you differently, though. It's almost as if whenever you're looking at the building, you know when you slightly cross your eyes and you see double images of things?
Yeah.
This is what you see whenever you're looking inside of the building. Or at the building. It's like there's two different images interposed with each other.
I'm seeing the metaphysical library. Is that what you're saying?
What I'm saying is you're seeing both the possibilities for the future, yes.
Okay.
Whoa.
it is because he's wild magic aligned or something.
Because of his spell scar thing, yes. Where you can see
Actually,
both the results before they happen.
Abari spends like 3 minutes looking at the library and then says, whack.
we tried.
Here I was thinking you would say groovy.
No. Just whack.
We tried actually summoning a book, but it appears like I'm blind from one eye.
Without context, that's an excellent segue.
Yeah, we basically ran an experiment, and I don't think I can see from my left eye.
Weird.
Also whack.
I mean,
that is the kind of thing that you get for trying to handle primal magic.
I would like to go on his left side and, spin my finger around my ear.
Like calling him crazy.
Exactly.
Okay. So, what do you need me for? Exactly.
There's a librarian that needs to be banged.
What?
You actually say that.
Are you going with that? Are you going to needs to be convinced?
Is that your final answer?
I mean, there's a lot of good ways to say this. That's not one of them. Sorry.
Considering that Abadi's love for horror houses, I think I would say that.
Okay.
Okay, I was more wondering if, since this is primal magic, if he has any input to it, besides the whole gathering the group to discuss what do.
So let's do this again. Repeat after me.
He said that yes, there's a librarian that needs to be banged.
Okay.
And everyone just
Oh.
looks at him shocked.
You've been reading the Scarlet novels at night, haven't you? Good
Scarlet
for
novels?
you. Good for you.
I've just read A Touch of Crimson.
Was it fun?
Yeah, do you like joints?
Dovetail joints.
I love double joints.
I don't know what you're on about, but we were looking for information about that ritual, and yeah, the librarian is the only person who will let us in, and she won't. For obvious reasons, it's restricted information.
Huh.
And you have your way around people, so you might get something that we can't.
Wow, shika wow wow.
I can try and finagle something, yes. I don't promise anything, you know. But yeah, I can work with the librarian, absolutely.
Jandis walks out, carrying her stack of books, as she says, "Are we ready to go back?"
Jandis, question.
Yeah.
Have you ever had any books that you brought from here go missing or returning here? Like
Oh yeah,
she described?
yeah, it happens sometimes. That's why Mr. Amberbloom's his library is in the middle of the building. It doesn't have any windows, so hopefully that deters the books from coming back.
Right, so he steals the books.
No.
There's something hilarious about you jailing your books without any windows so they don't run away. Did you notice any pattern to the kind of book that tends to run or anything of the sort?
No, just anything. They'll just
Just randomly, sometimes I'm tired of this and
I don't want to be here anymore.
sometimes if we leave the window open and just open the door, they just bolt out so fast that there's no way we're gonna catch them.
Oh my god.
you have
Think
to be
of a
careful
book
when you
doing
go
a knock
inside
knock joke.
Knock knock.
And then the book's just leaving.
You have to be careful when entering the libraries or you might get hit with a runaway book.
Oh, it doesn't happen that often, but it's still not worth the risk.
Okay, thank
Like when you went in there, we didn't warn you about anything because it's usually not a big deal. It's only a big deal if like, the windows are open.
Interesting.
I don't know why.
Because they have some kind of pathfinding, and if it seems to be too much of a hassle to leave the building, okay, I'll wait. And that's extra amusing.
Well,
Definitely is finding this building very interesting.
but are we ready to go?
Not yet, I think. I guess. I
We
mean,
still want
I don't
to-
think I'm currently that necessary. So if you want, I can come along and carry the books.
I just said that I was going to give it a try to try and convince the librarian. Just don't expect me to do it today, though.
Today, out of character, right?
Out of character, yeah.
Yes, of
Sorry.
I
course.
don't want to do sexting
yeah.
in character right now.
Yeah.
Understandably.
Sorry, not in the mood.
Yeah.
Well, what books are you taking, Jandis?
Oh, it's just storybooks. The kind of book that he likes to read before bed.
Aren't you taking anything for yourself?
No. I didn't even consider that. I like these books as well.
But maybe you could learn something useful.
Like what?
Do you know anything about dovetail giants?
No, what are those?
Oh, do you remember in the last adventure when there was this gnome, I think, that was very annoying with rocks?
Yes.
Okay, detailed, but with dovetail
Gloin.
giants.
Yes, I even remember the name. It was Gloin. His last
Let it
name.
be glowy in the dark.
No, it was Gloin something, and the last name was actually a character from something that I didn't know, and it ended up being that character. He ended up having a name from, I think it was The Lord of the Rings. But it wasn't intentional. Something like that. But yeah, his name was Gloin.
Yeah, I just start rambling on how to make furniture using giants, and how useful and fun it can be. I tried to convince her to pick a book that could help her keep know a new skill.
She just says that no, no, I like these books. I like storybooks.
Wouldn't you be interested in walks, for instance?
Mm.
You liked it. You liked it back when we were analyzing that walk.
Yeah, but I still prefer storybooks.
Okay then.
By the way, if you insisted, I would have intervened.
I've already insisted twice.
Yes.
I'm not going to force her to do anything.
Yeah, but yeah, just a warning.
So
Not cool, bruh. Not cool.
So we can end the session with Abaris going back in to try to convince the librarian. Is that what?
That sounds good to me.
Yeah.
Is it just going alone and everyone staying inside? I was thinking of we would go inside as well.
I have one question. Since we have magic users outside,
Mm-hmm.
can they understand what's happening to my eye?
To your eye?
Yeah, if it's permanent, if it's temporary.
What would that be?
I mean,
Identify a
if it's magic-
spell?
If it is magical, it would be in detect magic.
Yeah,
Is it
but
visible or from the outside he looks normal?
he just looks normal.
Okay.
But my question is this is not exactly a spell. This is primal magic RNG. How do you identify that? Well, I guess the knowledge arcana.
I mean, I don't think Pathfinder has that in the rule book, so you'll have
Exactly.
to wing it.
Yeah, we're gonna wing it. Roll knowledge arcana.
Me or everyone that's interested.
Everyone that has it or wants to try to identify it.
I'll try.
Where is Jellic?
Good.
Jellic. Knowledge arcana.
That was a shitty roll. Not for Jellic.
Yeah. And for... Does Jandis have this knowledge? Good question.
I'd be surprised.
Knowledge arcana. She does not. Well, she does have a lot of knowledges though. Just from reading a lot of books. But it's mostly story, history, and like noble and all of that. Like I was telling you before, that's the kind of thing that happens when you're trying to deal with primal magic. Usually it isn't permanent, but who knows?
It usually is fine enough.
Oh,
I guess we'll see how this develops. I wouldn't want to have to wear an eye patch to the ball.
look at
The outside,
hold on.
no one
Wait.
noticed anything.
Wait, it wouldn't be Jellic saying this. I mean, it might look good on you though.
You think?
I don't see why not. Can give you a certain charm. Someone who's been in battle and got injured with that.
I tend to Abadi since he is like the fashion expert in the group.
But since when? Sorry, since when?
Wasn't there
Since
something
when what?
with disguises and that you helped? Yeah, when we
But
entered.
that's not fashion. No.
That's disguising.
Yeah.
Oh, what I think fashion would be charisma. That's why I think it would be. But
Sure, he considers you to be the person who understands most about fashion,
yeah, that's why.
independently of you actually being or not.
This is one word phrase it.
Sure. I'll roll with it.
Be a fashionista, you're always meant to be, man.
Anyway,
Anyway,
I'm too
yeah,
tired for this.
Yeah, it's 2. So
Yes,
I
exactly.
understand and agree.
okay, let's finish.
so we're gonna end this with Abaris going back inside and maybe people following. Maybe not. Or yes, I don't have a cliffhanger for you in this one.
Oh,
Yeah, it's
I
fine.
didn't-
it's fine.
I
My
figured
last
not.
idea was that I'm gonna check, or like that I suggested to Jandis that I join her in grabbing the books.
Yeah, but if everyone's not going back, I don't know if she wants to go back already.
Okay, well, that's fair.
So yeah, Abaris going back in, and we'll leave it there. I didn't think that we would spend so much time in the library, but it's fine that we did. I think there's a lot of story development that you guys got more information out of,
Indeed.
which I am perfectly fine with. I think you guys have a much better picture to now answer the question to what do you think is going on?
wait.
Can-
What?
I recall the meme, but I cannot say it yet.
I also remember.
It's not advertiser friendly, I suppose.
Okay.
Yeah, that's where I would not enjoy it. I just
Nice.
remembered that there could be a cliffhanger of the thick demon mama. Of
No.
Abaris trying to contact her. or
No.
something like that.
She contacts him, not the other way around.
Oh, okay.
And they already had a contact.
Oh, okay. I'm not going to. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So, what do you guys think is going on? Just
What do we think?
that one last thing before you head off.
Oh,
We've been trolled, and a lot of fighters, if that was actually fighters, are trapped in this place here so they don't interfere with the war.
there's a lot of questions here. First, who are they trying to contact here? If they're trying to contact here someone, could they be talking with, I don't know, someone else?
I barely hear you.
Would they understand that the library is here though, of all places? They might not have that information.
Why are they trying to contact someone in the library? If they're writing about it twice.
I mean, the thing is, how are we gonna convince anyone that we found the library?
Do you need to convince anyone?
Likely, if we're gonna try waging this war around, if we're gonna try going back to the island, to well, continent, it's gonna be a challenge telling them, well, we found the library. If there is something that can help us in the war, and so on. But other than that, I don't really know. It's a bit difficult.
Hopefully,
Sure.
hopefully this activates the element.
Really gets the noggin jogging, eh?
Yes.
Actually, there's also something that could be interesting because if there are letters, we can assume that any letter that has been written twice is here.
Yep.
Oh, it's interesting, and there must be some sort of way to filter stuff. We just need to understand how exactly.
Yeah, sure, it's just an email exchange server.
Exactly.
Trust me, I have experience with those things. I've set 3 of them up this week.
Damn.
That's annoying. Well, not the exchange itself, but like a tool that uses the exchange.
Mhm.
But yeah, fuck that.
So yeah. Hopefully you guys had fun. Got a lot of story out of
Didn't do
this.
much this time.
Yeah, but at least you got a lot of story out of it
That's
and more
True.
context.
it wasn't necessarily meant as a complaint.
And I'll thank everyone for being here, and hope to see you next time. I'm guessing we're gonna do it next week instead, if you guys can.
Next week is fine by me.
Yeah.
If it is Friday, as I said,
As
I'll
opposed to
know.
Seems
Yeah,
Also-
on Friday.
Likely, I can't till 2.
Yeah, of
Like,
course.
I
I don't
have people
want
visiting
to.
next. Well, not necessarily morning, but yeah, the
Mhm.
next day.
Understandable. Yeah, I didn't want to drag this out until this time, but
It worked.
yeah. Hopefully next time. But yeah, next week instead of this week. Let me post the thing before I forget. But yeah, thanks everyone for being here, and hope to see you next week.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye bye.